This video has been brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/mega capital G. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your Apple or Android device. Cancel anytime with no obligations. I'm listening to The Amazing Wrestling for My Life by Shawn Michaels. Link in the description. What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a nice little surprise for you guys to check out. We're not on YGO Pro. This time we are on Duelingbook, and we got a straight up competitive meta duel for you guys to check out. This is the best 2 out of 3, featuring probably 2 of the 3 or 4 best players on the entire Duelingbook website. If you guys play on Duelingbook, especially in Rated, you know about Nesh, you know about Flaming Ice. These guys are consistently finishing in the top 5 in every single format, and a lot of times the best player on the entire website is one of these. I know when I was grinding, Flaming Ice was like always #1. This dude is an absolute beast. He's playing Salaman Great, and Nesh is playing Spiral. This is of course new format, so their ratings aren't that high because, well, the rating ladder just got reset this week. But definitely these are amazing duelists. Just understand that there probably aren't going to be any misplays in this duel. Let's go ahead and roll this, and I believe that Flaming Ice is up first. By the way, this shows you how to navigate like a pro if you're playing Salaman Great. Look at this opening. I don't think that it could have possibly gotten any worse, but I guess you could say Konami giveth and Konami taketh away, because you open with 3 copies of Lady Debug. I'm pretty sure he would have liked for maybe the other debugs to be hand traps or just anything other Salaman Great cards. Anyways, as long as you got Lady Debug, obviously you can get to your copy of Salaman Great Gazelle, which is the heart and soul of the deck. He is going to go ahead and summon that copy of Balinx, get his Sanctuary in the process. Does not have to use the Tensei summon immediately because he has the Spinny to activate in hand. I had a friend who was like, he didn't want to run Spinny this format, and I thought he was kind of crazy. I was like, what are you doing? Like, Spinny's still ridiculous, but he didn't want to run it. Anyways, he is going to ultimately go in the Sunlight Wolf, then use Spinny to trigger the Sunlight Wolf, and I believe he's going to reincarnation that, get his Roar, or excuse me, Rage back to his hand, and then just set. Now his opponent, Nesh, is going to play Scrap Recycler. This is new. I don't think I've seen this in Spirals, but you know, I'm never going to disregard anything Nesh plays because he's a fantastic duelist. He's going to drop that Jet Synchron into the graveyard. I guess this can get some of these Spiral spells and traps out of your hand. Most of these cards have secondary effects in the graveyard, so I guess it definitely kind of makes sense, but that's going to get blasted by the Rage. That means that he has no monsters on board. Now, luckily, he did have his extender here in his Spiral Super Agent, which he will call right. Unfortunately, it can only do so much because he does have the Balinx in the graveyard to protect his Sunlight Wolf from battle. And I feel like if you give Salaman Great, like them coming off a turn that was that weak, if you give them another turn, this is where Salaman Great just kind of spiral. I know that's a bad pun, but this is where they take over the duel, because as long as they can just keep juggling those power traps, like, they're in good shape. So first things first, add the Rage to your hand, and actually no need to play it out. Nesh just scoops it up. I like it. Nesh says, I'm not going to be able to play around the Rage plus the draws of, you know, the copy of Flame Buffalo, so just scoops it up. Now you can see in this duel, things are going to be a little different because Nesh did open up full combo, and full combo for Spirals just means basically have Magician Souls in your opening hand. He does luckily have Spiral Rescue, and this is like super full combo. He even has super duper full combo because he has Called by the Grave to stop Ash Blossom. This is, by the way, why I'm experimenting, or at least thinking about not running hand traps that can be stopped by Called by the Grave, because we know how popular this card is. Maybe like Gamma and Nibiru, things like that, you know, things that don't have to hit the graveyard. Anyways, Magician Souls dumps Master Plan into the graveyard. Called by the Grave, of course, will be taking out the Ash Blossom, and now he's pretty much just golden. He can summon his copy of Master Plan back from the Spiral Rescue, search another copy, and I mean it's off to the races at this point. You know that you're not going to be stopped by your opponent unless they have like a second hand trap, but that seems kind of unlikely at this point. Now the thing is, when you open with that combo, generally if you're not getting hand trap, you're gonna end with Appaloosa, you're gonna end with Sleeper, with the fully armed, or excuse me, Last Resort. You're also going to end with a Tri-Gate that has 3 monsters linked up with it, so you get negation. Now this was the thing, I believe I believe that there's a way to search from DD Crow. Maybe I'm thinking of a different card, but yeah, I might be thinking of the Liraloose Link Monster. I know that when you go for the rank 1 XC, I know there's a way to add a level 1 monster from like your deck to your hand, and most people generally go for like DD Crow because it's another disruption, and obviously DD Crow is super good against like the Salamangreat deck, but I don't know if he was playing DD Crow. Maybe he just wasn't main decking it. I would have went for that play. Regardless, he's going to continue comboing out. You want to make your Tri-Gate, you want to obviously have those monsters linked up, and this is going to be your final board. This board is really good. I'm not going to lie, it would be a little better if it did have a DD Crow, but you're essentially ending with just straight up 4 negates because Appaloosa is 3 negates, and then your Tri-Gate is another negate for anything. And then you have double pop because you have Spiral Sleeper. Can you believe this man is going to play through all of this? Now, keep in mind, the top card of his deck is Joel and Lockbird. We already know that it's a completely dead card. Joel and Lockbird would have been super good, but I mean, being the 6th card doesn't really help. So we'll see him draw that Joel and Lockbird and probably not get much value out of it. He's going to throw out the copy of Pot of Desires, and I think he's going to have that negated. He's going to use Tri-Gate's negation on that. And you would think that's pretty much a good play, because if a Salamangreat player only has 3 cards, one of them's dead, we know the Droll's not doing anything, you wouldn't expect them to be able to break this board with just 3 cards. But Flaming Ice was like, motherfucker, you don't know about me, and this is the card that's going to do it. He's going to activate Mind Control. He's going to take Appaloosa. This is something I didn't even know about. Taking your opponent's Appaloosa is huge because basically the rest of their negations kind of don't work, because if they try to use, let's say that he tries to use Sleeper to disrupt you, well, you can just Appaloosa the Sleeper. So this is why taking your opponent's Appaloosa is like nuts. Anyways, he did happen to open with his copy of Gazelle, which, I mean, limited cards for the win, and he's actually not going to drop any traps into the graveyard. He's going to drop that copy of Foxy. This means he can pop the copy of Last Resort, and he can take out the Sleeper if he so chooses. He's not done yet. He has to get some monsters on board that are pretty beefy. He's going to go for Sunlight Wolf, and then he will, obviously link summon to its link point, and then he's actually going to go for Transcode Talker and then Reborn it. Since Transcode Talker has a monster co-linked with it, it gains 500 attack. Man, I remember this combo was so awesome back in the day with Salamangreats going for the transcodes, the update jammer trans. That thing was so awesome. Basically, he's going to ram into Sleeper. Both monsters are going to die, and Sleeper's going to nuke his entire board. Unfortunately, he is ultimately going to link away the Appaloosa, and he's going to make a copy of Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax, because you would not want to give back the Appaloosa to your opponent. That would be incredibly silly. And now Nesh is in a bad position. He ends up whiffing on the Helix because he calls Monster and sees an impermanent, so that's unfortunate for him. He's going to make Brawl Sword Dragon, and he's just going to go ahead and attack. Now, it looks like he might be able to do a little bit here, but Astrum is a card that it's pretty damn hard to kill. Just like Brawl Sword can't die in battle. Well, this guy can die in battle, but this guy definitely can't. Let's see exactly how this is going to play out. The Spiral player, Nesh. Oh no, he just scooped. What are you doing, Nesh? I thought maybe he had a hope of getting back into this duel, but he ends up, I guess he just realized like he can't out the Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax because of the effect. Not to mention, I guess he had impermanence, so he could have used impermanence technically on the Brawl Sword Dragon, and then he could have ran it over that way, because obviously Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax, like he can use this effect to gain attack, and he still had all of these cards in his hand. Wow, interesting. One of these players was playing DD Crow. You know what? I wonder if he would have gotten, I think that if Nesh had played DD Crow and he had searched it, I think he would have won, because when he would have went for Transcode Talker, he could have DD Crow'd the Sun. Well, no, I wonder, because he has 2 Sun. Now, I think you have to target one of them specifically. If it works like that, then DD Crow definitely could have wrecked him. But this was kind of surprising. I expected Spiral to just kind of run over Salamangreats, especially when Spiral opened up full combo in game 2, and Salamangreats kind of bricked in game 1, but, strange things happen sometimes in dueling. Unfortunately, guys, I can't give you the deck profiles because all I have is this replay. I don't actually have the decks, and I can't pull them up like I can on YGO Pro, so maybe we'll see these two dueling on Duelingbook, and we can try to figure out what the decks are. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you're not already, and turn on that notification notification bell for daily videos.
This video has been brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audible.com/megacapitalG. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your mobile device. I'm listening to the amazing I Can't Make This Up by Kevin Hart. Link in the description.